Welcome everybody to another great episode of Real Life Matters. Of course, I'm your host, DBoss, and I'm just suggesting, it's coming up to the very special season where people are going to be eating, being at home, family time, all the rest. So I suggest that you go to my YouTube channel. You can watch some episodes that maybe you've missed in over the summer or the spring, and that's DBoss Networks. But today, I have a very special guest on, and she's going to tell us about a lot of things she experienced, a lot of trauma. She has her journey that she's done. There's a lot of things that's going on with her. So she's my special guest. So with no further ado, I introduce to you Lateka Starnes Counsel, and she's an author, an advocate, a trauma recovery coach, a speaker, a philabotist. Okay. all these long words. But anyways, no further ado. Here's Lateka.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm fine. How about yourself?
I'm okay. Well, we see that big long word there, hebstatician. The hebstatician. So I know probably a lot of people are not going to understand that, but once we get into that, we'll let you know. But Lateka, at first here, everybody at Real Life Matters like to know what's your culture and your background, where you came from, where are you residing?
I am originally from Sumter, South Carolina, but my dad was in the army, so I traveled a lot. And
Okay.
I was in the Navy. So it was one of those, I'm not, I'm born here, but I wasn't raised here. But somehow I just migrated back.
So you were in the Navy too, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So how was that for you?
I loved it. I mean, it has its ups and its downs, but I say through the good and the bad, that's an experience I wouldn't change for nothing. That was
Oh,
8 years of me just going to, I made 3 deployments. So that's me just going to different countries. So you gotta think about fresh out of high school, and I'm going to visit Italy and Spain and just go to different countries and experience different cultures.
so so that really made you like all around individual because you get to travel a lot. I know you're not going on sometimes the best of circumstances, but that's a great opportunity for you to travel and to see the world.
It is because traveling with my dad, I say with my dad's overseas, we lived in Hawaii, but everything for him was more stateside. So when I got older and went into the Navy, I got to do more, visit more countries. So I got, a well diverse, a more understanding of how different, like people like culturally diverse. I understand it more because I experienced it.
Oh, okay. So you had to stay in those small quarters and getting used to all that, right?
Stay on the ship in the berthing. So it's like a bottom rack, middle rack, top rack, and it's like you may have 3 or 4 racks, and I always took the middle. So somebody
And
had
you're
to step
so
over
close.
me. Oh, we're very close.
Did you get claustrophobic or anything or no?
I am claustrophobic as we speak.
Oh, yeah.
I do not, considering of my 8 years, the majority of my time I spent on a ship. Now I prefer the ship because we get to go out to sea and it's like that's more peaceful to me. But I think while I was doing it, it was more like my job and it was fun. But now in life, no, I don't like closed spaces. I don't. I have panic attacks if I'm in something like close knit. I can't do it. For me to get an MRI, they have to give me a volume because I
I
cannot
get
just go. They can't tell me the day of to get an M. Like it's not happening.
join the club. That's the same thing with me. I can't go in there.
Cause
Bust in a minute.
last time they put me in, they kept buzzing. I was like, brr, 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 get me out. As soon as I feel it vibrate, it was like, it's okay. I was like, it's not okay. My mind, like my mind won't let it be okay. And I think now, since I had time to adjust, like, yeah, no closed spaces.
Wow. But how did you guys sleep like that? Like everybody's so you were in the women's barrack and stuff like that?
Well, see, you keep saying barracks. No, we live on the ship, so we're in a
The ship,
berthing.
not the ship, sorry, the
So
barrack.
no, see, the barracks are more fancier than living in the ship. The barracks, you got like a dorm room. Barracks are set up like dorm rooms. In the ship, it's my side over here with 4, then right here is somebody else with 4. So it's like this. So you're
Mm.
getting dressed and you got to step over somebody. Like somebody got to, there's a bottom one I got to step on. Then somebody got to step over me to get to theirs.
So is there a step, or do you have to literally step on your bed
It's
or?
it's it's a little piece of a plank, so you literally stepping on somebody's bed.
Oh,
So you just make sure everybody that's around you you're cool with, so you're not like having no issues.
mm-mm. That's too close.
It is very. You have
Well, you
no privacy whatsoever.
everybody hears all those noises at night and everything that you don't do, and
Well, no, they go to other spaces for that. But in the birthing, it was more, I say in there, you really gave each other that private, that, that aspect of you gave that respect. But it's like, other than that, getting dressed, getting undressed, there's no privacy.
wow. But anyways, we're here. So you said that we're gonna get to you, all of you. You said that you experienced a little bit of trauma in while you were in deployment, right?
Well,
Some
yeah, close the
okay.
door.
So you
Yes,
experienced some deployment, right?
yes.
Something happened to you there that you couldn't believe it.
No, it was during my, I was 20. I just had my oldest daughter. So it was like after I had her, I had to leave. I had to get flown to the ship because we were already out to sea. So I had to get flown to the ship to go to Bahrain. And that was my first deployment. And during that first deployment, I think around that time frame, it was 2000. And it's like I was on the ship already. So I've already felt as though, okay, I know people, everybody knows, knew me. But then when I got back, it was more, like with females on the ship, we always get all the talk, like anything. That's why, I always say it just military sexual trauma because everything is under that umbrella from harassment to the rape. Everything falls under because when you
Wow.
experience it, and it's like if you're five females and everybody around you is guys, you try to laugh at those sexual jokes and those little advances. You try to laugh it and you try to brush it off because you don't want to seem to be sensitive or a crybaby in their eyes. But during my first deployment, I actually raped. Outside of the harassment, outside of the unwanted touch, the assault, I was actually raped. And when I went to my chain of command and I told my chain of command, they told me his career was more important than my reputation.
Wow. So when that something like that happens, and sometimes you can't get back into land, right? So
No,
what did
I
they do?
stayed. It was more of an out of sight, out of mind. So they just took me out of the department with him and they put me TAD in the mess deck. So I went upstairs in the officers' mess decks and I worked up there for the remainder of the deployment. It was just more of out of sight, out of mind. And in that time frame, in that climate in '98, knowing what I know now, I didn't seek the mental help I need. So it was
Okay.
like I just spiraled downhill because in that climate, it was more if you tell it was like don't ask, don't tell. So if you came out and you were a part of the LGBT, you're gone. If you even mentioned anything of that, you're out. If you went in and you told them you had any sign of depression or any mental thing, you're out. So my thought was, I got a daughter, I'm a new mom, I need to stay. So I kind of just toughened it out. And not
Wow.
until my second daughter is when I got pregnant with my second daughter and I like gained almost 200 pounds during pregnancy. But then it's like as soon as I had her, I dropped back down to 135. So a female in my new chain of command was like, "Oh, I think you got something else going on." And then I was diagnosed with postpartum depression, and I knew it was deeper than that. But I'm like, I don't want to get put out, so I just left it in that little category of postpartum depression.
Hmm.
And I stuck it out. I say I stuck it out. I've had 3 kids in the Navy. I stuck it out up until year 8. I re-enlisted and we were in Jordan and a missile was launched at our ship on that deployment. That was my third and final deployment. A missile was launched at our ship. And I think right in that moment, everything past trauma that I kept, over, sweeping under the rug, all of that came forefront. And that's when I just made the decision that day. I'm like, I'm a mom. I got 3 daughters. My kids don't know me. I don't know them. It's like I know you're my child. I'm your mom, but I didn't know you. So I just felt as though it's time for me to go. I need to be a mother to my children because if they were raised any other type of way, I can't blame nobody but myself because I put career before family. So that's when I made the decision to walk away from the Navy
Okay.
in 2006.
Wow. So tell us, what your name means that you have there display on your uh
Okay, I am, like I tell people, I am a licensed esthetician. So first and foremost, I'm a licensed esthetician, and then I am the first African American female veteran in my area to be a hemp broker and transporter. So I was trying to think of a name to where I can combine both worlds. So I'm like, I want the cannabis world and I want the spa world. So I came up with hempstatician and I trademarked it. So it's like I am the hempstatician, nature's medicine for melanated skin. So I base all my skincare products. They have turmeric for hyperpigmentation, and they have the CBD oil slash hemp oil in it to help with inflammation, swelling, and irritation. So
okay.
I just literally infuse two worlds into one.
Wow. So this is, do you enjoy, this is what you enjoy then? So tell us, if somebody comes to you, so you do like the assessment and stuff of them, or what do you do?
I do everything. When they come to me, I'm more of everything in my spa is hemp based. So I'm
Okay.
more on if you look good, you feel good. So it's mind, body, and soul. So if you come in there and you need that spiritual healing or that mental guidance, I'm an advocate of, like I'm trauma. So I've experienced multiple trauma. So I give people that peace of mind. So whatever you say within me is confidential. So that we're working on your mind. And then when it comes to your body, I do facials so I can assist anybody who has, any issues with their face. And I also do body contouring and body sculpting. So, the ladies who, and guys who want to come get a detox body wrap or want laser lipo or cavitation to get sculpted, I assist in all of that to where I want everybody, you look good, you feel good. I want to target mind, body, and soul. So what I basically did in my spa was I infused all of my passions into everything that I do. So I intertwine everything. And like my latest adventure is I'm a certified phlebotomist. So within my spa, I have a DNA, I have a testing center. I can draw blood, but if you came to me and you said, "Hey, I want to get the PRP," like they call it the vampire facial where you use your own blood and put on your face to, rejuvenate, you don't have to go out to get it because I'm a phlebotomist. So I can draw your blood, centrifuge it, and I'm an esthetician. I can give you your facial. Then
So
if you
what does
came
that
to
do?
me and
You
say,
take your blood, and what do you do?
and you centrifuge it down, and then you'll turn around and get like a microneedle and pen, and then you put it on like it's serum, your own blood, and you infuse it back in, and it just rejuvenates your face. It helps with wrinkle, fine lines. It just rejuvenates you're using your own blood to rejuvenate your face. So if you look at plastic surgery offices, when they tell the ladies, you see it big with the BBL, they're like, oh, get the PRP. That's basically what it is. It's just your blood centrifused down with the plasma and everything. They're just putting your blood back in so you heal quicker.
Oh, well, we're learning something here on Real Life Matters today. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before. That's what they put your own blood and
Hmm.
put in your. Oh my gosh. Well, I get so. Are there many people like yourself that do that, or not really?
We are the minority in the spa world. You will see more women of color in the body contouring world, where in some states you don't need a license. But as far as in the spa world, we are still of the minority. But we're coming in numbers. But it's like once you become an esthetician, everybody goes their own way. Some people just want it for makeup. Some want eyebrow, eyelashes. I'm
Okay.
more on skin, so I try to stick with skin and body.
Well, well, it's too bad you weren't up here because we would have been definitely getting people to come down
I,
to try this
that's
out.
why I told Nicole, I was like, bro, I'm ready to. I just went today and did my passport. I was like, yeah, I let it expire. Let me go and get this back. COVID is like technically over. It's over.
Oh, you could come over. Okay, so you you also said that you experience a lot of trials like PTSD.
PTSD, yes.
Mhm.
I
And,
got I have chronic complex PTSD because I have multiple traumas. So not only did I have the military sexual trauma, I had the rape. Then I was in a domestic violence marriage. And with that, it came with the, that abuse alone. And then, he was like a narcissist. So like now, In 2015, South Carolina had the 1,000-year floods. I lost everything in my home and my storage. And then I had to drive my baby in the flood water. So my car almost stalled up. But I'm like, I gotta, save face for her. So they said that's one of my traumas. Then they said with the missile launch, that was a trauma. So it's like on my journey, and then this past January, my husband was shot 7 times. So I watched him die in the ambulance as they worked on him, and I watched him come back. So I say in
Oh
that
my
very moment,
gosh.
yeah, that was because he called me, like he gave me the call, like they shot me and I made it up there. But I say that moment to me, it was a wake up call for myself. But in that very moment, I felt helpless. I'm like, I'm supposed to help. I'm his helper. But
Yes.
I'm like, my provider, my protector is down, and I can't help him. So in that moment, I felt very helpless. And when he was in the hospital for like those 2.5 months, and none of my kids are in the house, I had to sit back and think like, who are you? Like, who am I? What do I have if, no kids are in the house, if my husband is
Right.
in the hospital, what do I have for myself? And that made me revisit and reflect on, I truly haven't healed from all of my old traumas, and I just kept putting a band-aid over them. So I told myself, I'm like, I got to go back to the beginning. I got to go back to the rape. I got to revisit the rape, and I got to express, and I got to go through that emotional journey on how it made me feel. Because I'm like, that is my first trauma. And that trauma set the path and the journey that I went down, because it was a domino effect on how I reacted and responded. So when I say I revisited that trauma and I had to sit with it, I just kept going forward. And now I can honestly say, when I say that journey of healing is a journey, healing from trauma, you got to start from the beginning. That's an ugly journey. But I'm in a whole better mental space now. So like I use the hashtag mental freedom a lot, because that is where I am now. Like
Mhm.
I am mentally free. I don't get triggered by a lot of things that I used to get triggered by. I have fibromyalgia, so I wake up in pain. Then I have endometriosis. I move, like I've had 2 hysterectomies. I don't have nothing but a left ovary.
So you had 2 hysterectomies.
Had to have 2. The first one they did, they removed the uterus. So they were like, no period, no pain. Later on in life, I learned if you have endometriosis and it goes untreated for so long, it spreads. I didn't know that at the time. So that's what made me end up
I
going to
had that
get,
too. So I experienced that, and it was
yeah, I
terrible.
was like,
I almost died 2 times.
mine, mine was so bad. That's what I tell people. I don't, after I attempted suicide in 2010, I don't do any pain pills. Cause like when I was in the Navy the whole time with endometriosis, I used to have to go get a morphine drip. I had everything from Vicodin to Percocet, anything hard. Like basically what the opioid crisis is now, I've been getting pushed and shoved down my throat for my endometriosis. So after I attempted, and like after I attempted my suicide attempt in 2010, I don't do any strong narcotics. If I go have surgery, like I did my shoulder, my rotator cuff, I told them I'll take Percocet for 3 days. After those 3 days, I need Tylenol or something less. I'm not doing anything strong. I literally go, I don't do it.
Okay. So this thing, and a lot of people don't realize, and some people who have endometriosis, and I had that at a younger age, and they couldn't believe.
Yes.
They said to me, "Oh no, you're too young to have that," and all this other stuff. And I said, and then they kind of just dismissed you, or maybe they think it's in your mind. No, it's not in my
Or I
mind.
get, what do they tell me the whole time in the Navy? Chronic pelvic pain. I'm like, okay, that's a nice way of calling. I'm like, all right, whatever.
It's not
But then it's like when I got out, like, oh, with my fibromyalgia, oh, chronic joint pain, chronic muscle pain. I'm like, if it's so chronic, why do y'all keep giving me hard, like the hard drugs and giving me lidocaine shots? I'm like, it's chronic, but all right. Later on, once I became more in tune with being a veteran and reading my medical record, they diagnosed me when I was in, but it was the need of the Navy to keep me in. They needed me, so they kept me.
Oh, okay. So no
Rather
matter what
than
your medical situation was, they needed you, so you had to stay there.
and they managed it. So it was more, they kept it calling it chronic pelvic pain or chronic whatever pain. But they were like, as long as we're feeding the drugs, we got a body.
Mm. Wow. Woo. This is a lot. No, but people go through these things.
Yeah.
A lot of times, a lot of people are working, and you're working and you're working, and next thing you know, you get sick, and then you sign these documents that you're supposed to get insurance, and then when you're sick, you can't even get the flipping insurance, and
Because
that's the next.
somebody already diagnosed you and didn't tell you. Like,
And then you got
you're
to go
thinking,
through all this red tape before you even can get the thing to be.
exactly.
But when you were signing up and you went to work, oh yes, you don't have to worry about nothing. And as soon as you get sick, then you got to provide these documents. Then it's a different story, and you've been paying that out of your money all the time.
Exactly.
And sometimes they don't relate things like fibromyalgia, endometriosis as something chronic until
Exactly.
you're almost dying. Like I almost died. I tell you, I birthed some big pterodactyl eggs,
And
fibroids.
then they said it was serious. Like it's always been there, but you were dismissing it, and it's like, but I was good that the GYN doctor I had at the VA, he was like, well, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and he was like, okay, if you do it, he called it a whatever it's called, something. He was like, do you want the surgery because it spread it? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
I
there's
was
a
like,
lot of.
yeah, I want it.
Yeah, because that thing and it really acts up, and people don't
It does.
understand. It's so much pain. You are in excruciating pain, and it's pain that you wouldn't even want to wish on your worst enemy.
Nobody. I tell people
It's
I
terrible.
have I have 3 children, and of my 3, I did 2 natural. I said I will go have 20 babies natural rather than deal with endometriosis pain. Like I will give you 20 with no drugs. That pain is, like that is different. You got to be balled up. You don't want to breathe. It's like just I don't want no movement.
And a lot of bleeding, and then you bleed out your own actual blood. That's what
Yep.
happened to me. I almost died. Like I was
And
just
then
like on my way out.
and then you become anemic. And you got to do something for that. I'm like, bro,
Mhm.
it's one thing leads to the next. But that's something I've learned. Everything is a domino effect. So like now I took the time to start, researching everything, and I'm like, I really don't want the drugs. What is a natural way, a natural remedy for me to treat this or that? So I'm better with everything now. All before I was just like, oh, I need my medicine. I need my. Now I'm like, yeah, no.
Well, that's why I don't have any kids, and a lot of people who are in the situation. You at least you had children,
And
and
I
you
say,
had children.
I say when people used to say that, it used to bother me. But it's like now in hindsight that I got more, a more understanding. Like going through the hysterectomy, you like, whatever. I want
Hmm.
this or I want that. But it's like after it's all done and you start to heal mentally and physically, you be like, yeah, okay, hindsight, I do have them. I got to think about those who can't ever have them due to endometriosis taking everything from them. So I had to
Join
find,
that's me.
yeah, and it's like I had to find that in time. Going through it, I was just like, my homeboy, he's like, but Tika, you good. I was like, I wanted 4. He's like, Tika, you good. No, you got 3 beautiful. I was like, nah, it ain't the same. And
Hmm.
I don't think a lot of people understand. I say after I had my first hysterectomy in 2012, I suffered with depression a lot because I really felt less of a woman. Because in my mind, I was like, who would want me if I can't give them? You know what I mean? That's literally where I went. And I don't think a lot of people understand when you remove certain parts of a woman, psychologically it does something too, because it's like, we're taught or we've always seen women bear children, women, but then it's like when you can't do it, it's like, who wants me? What am I going to do? It's like you feel like you lose a sense of identity when, like we're more than that. But in that moment, that's where we're at.
Well, you
I had
can't
to
feel
do
like that,
support
but
groups.
there's some pluses to that anyway, so you don't have to worry about.
Oh yeah, there's a lot
there's,
of bonuses.
there's a lot of bonuses when you have that,
Oh,
though.
it's a lot of bonuses.
You don't have to worry about that monthly
Not, I don't
cycle.
got none of them. My
Thank
daughter
God.
was like, Ma, can you give me some pads? I was like, bro, what you using? She's like, Ma, I was like, bro, I have a piercing since 2012. I don't even know what it look like. I feel like a man standing there like, what you want? What color? What's the number? I don't
That's
gotta I can look and go.
all right. So tell us about your author now. You did some books, right?
Yes. I
So
have
tell us
4
about
books.
that.
It's life after, it's like it's called Picking Up the Pieces, but it's life after a domestic violence relationship.
Okay.
And like I tell people, when you go through domestic violence, you have sexual assault, you have rape, you have everything is under that umbrella of domestic violence. It's more than physical. And then I also have I did living with PTSD, because once you go through any type of trauma, you're gonna have some form of PTSD
Okay.
going on. Then I did manifesting greatness. So that way I was like, okay, we're picking those pieces up. We've identified we have PTSD. So now we need to manifest some greatness in us. We need to like go ahead and use those stones as stepping stones. And then I did adjust your crown. I'm like, just adjust your crown. Like you gotta adjust your crown and shift and get it going. I have coming up, it's called Struggle or Hustle from Pain to Purpose. I
Woo!
have 7 ways.
Girl, you got more stuff. Wow.
Yes, I have, that's coming in 2023. Then I have 7 true meaning of forgiveness. Because I'm like, people say they forgive, but it's like the first thing people don't understand is you have to forgive yourself first. You can't forgive the wronger until you forgive yourself. And I have I'm working on a series about narcissistic abuse. And it's going to be, the first one is going to be the traits of, or how to identify a narcissist, and then the next one is going to be called mask off, face on. So it's like I'm uncovering and letting others know these are signs, this is what to look for. Those flag, those red signs are there, whether we see them or want to admit it, they're there. And it's like once you start healing or getting through it, you start to realize, oh, I saw this there, I saw that, yeah, it was there. So that I'm in my, I think now the phase that I'm in my life, I'm more so walking in my purpose. I've been a domestic violence advocate for years, but it's like I always, like, I didn't put it to the side, but I'm like I always shifted to do something else. And I'm like, now in my season that I'm in, is I need to be, I didn't have it, so let me be that guiding light to help someone else through their storm, because it's dark.
Okay. So, how do people come to you? That they just your clients, they call you, or because you got so many things you do. So what do? You put on this hat if they're doing this, or how do
No,
you?
I wear all hats. That's like if I'm in my spa doing a facial and she just burst out crying and I gotta go in advocate mood or life coach mood, I shift to wherever I need to be, and I try to make it to where anybody and everybody is comfortable approaching me.
Okay.
I have people in my inbox on Facebook like, hey, I saw you post this 2 months ago that you are a domestic violence advocate or you work with the guardian ad litem. I have someone going through this. Can you point? I'm not going to turn, when it comes to situations of that nature, that's something I will never turn anyone away for. And like I tell, everybody, it's big to me. Getting my message across and getting someone help is bigger than money to me.
Okay. So your clients are mostly in your area where you're at, or you
For
can
my
people.
spa services are mostly where I'm at. But as far as when it comes to me speaking or anything of that nature, no. I actually told my PR team that I want to be more into traveling and more speaking and promoting of my books. And I'm like, that's what people need. Yes, I have my spa. Yes, I have my testing center, but my message is bigger than one area.
Okay. So obviously you got a lot going on for coming up for 2023 and during 2023, and we need to come back and tell us about your book when you release that
Okay.
and stuff and all that. But it's just women today who deal with mental abuse and they deal with all these things coming, and it's such, you're so admirable to know that you just took everything and you just made the best out of it. You just
That I had to learn that after like July of 2010, I attempted suicide with, of course, my pain pills, my Vicodin. It's accessible. But at the time, I had a friend that basically saved my life. And I try to tell people, like, they think, oh, it's a joke, but I'm like, I can joke about it because I'm still here. And I'm like, that charcoal, when you wake up, that charcoal is not that's not a good taste. That's not a good feel. It's not a good look. Because you have to, and I tell people, I'm like, you already had the mind frame of you're being a burden to someone. Your quality of life may not be where it is. You may feel as though your kids are better without you or whatever without you. And once you make a plan and then you execute that plan, you mentally said goodbye. And I
wow.
mentally and said goodbye. But when you wake up, no one tells you how to pick up the pieces after you've already attempted suicide. Because it's like, how do I move forward with what I just did? and you got to forgive yourself. But it's like, you more so forgive yourself. You got to find peace within yourself to say, I did this because of this, so let me try to understand why and how I can move forward. And I told myself when it hit year 10, I said, I'm here 10 years later. It's time for me to share my story versus keeping everything in on what I've been through. I'm like, I'm here 10 years later. It's time to go. But it's like my anxiety kept stopping me. It's like, no, don't do it. You want to share, don't do it. Then I just got to the point after my husband got shot in January. I'm like, I can't have no fear. I just got to do it. And that's
So this
pretty
is
much
your
where
second.
I've
This
been.
is your second husband.
This is my third husband.
Oh,
This is number
okay.
three.
Number three.
No,
Okay.
this is number three. No.
Okay.
I tell people, I'm like, yo, I'm about to be like, like, hey, third time to try. Like, hey, if I don't get it right, I got to, somebody gonna be rich someday. Hey, I got to keep going. No, and people think I be, like I tell people, I'm like, I have to laugh at what I've been through. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like my first marriage, I think I wasn't ready. It's like it was a thought of being married. So I wanted that because everybody around me was married. So I got married off a thought. So when it felt like, and
Okay.
I ain't gonna say it got hard, it was just when things ain't go my way, I was just more like, I'm out. So you know what I mean? Like there's nothing wrong with him. It was just a thought for me. And then I got
Okay.
married the second time. To me, that was really my first time because I put forth an effort and I made it work. And that ended in domestic violence. So now to me, this is, legally my third marriage, but it's like,
Right.
physically it will be my second because I'm giving I'm giving it a go.
Okay. All
But
right.
yeah,
So
this is number three.
number three. Well, that's really that's something for you. So, are there any shout outs that you want to give to people?
I want to give a shout out, of course, to my dope PR team. Thank you all, Exquisite, for all the hard work you're doing and the much success that we're going into 2023. My children, Imani, Imari, and Zanaya, my nieces, Kayla and Anaya, and my new nephew, Markel. Everybody else, I love y'all.
All right. So, if people have to find you on social media, where can they go to?
I am Lateka SC.
Oh,
Everything.
all right. So that's easy. People at home, you know what? People at home reach out. I know people are probably asking in their head, like, talk still. They're probably, yes, they heard everything you said tonight and they heard everything, but they're probably just like, oh my goodness, what is going to happen
What's going to yeah.
with that facial?
It's like it's a
That.
cliffhanger. And see, I had to remember I had this. I was gonna give myself a chemical pill. And I was like, I cannot go on her talk. I cannot go on this podcast with my face peeling, and people be like, "What happened?" So
If that's what happens, then we'll get it.
yes, but I'm like, yeah.
But that's good. So how long does that, how long does that process take when you come in and do that for your
A
facial?
chemical peel. When if you come in and get a chemical peel, you're gonna peel within 7 to 14 days. But it's like it actually helps people. I prefer like me. I have dark spots. And people with acne, I will do it on. But it helps get rid of all dark spots. So if you give me 3 months, by the time you see me again, you won't see any. Like I can see my dark spots, but you probably don't. But give me 3 months, I won't have any dark spots. So when they say fresh face is gonna be all even. Like in the winter months, you got drier spots. So I always
Okay.
do them in the winter months to make my skin even. So by the time it warms up, everything is just glowing.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're gonna bring you back again, Latika. This is some. I'm just amazed. There's so much things we have to break down with you, but we got it done.
I
So
know, right?
I know, but we got it done. And I just do want to thank you, for coming on and sharing your journey with us and what happened to you. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate to what's going on with you. You were in the Navy. You wrote a book. You went to domestic abuse. You went to health issues, which a lot of people could relate to. Probably a lot of those things, all that you have, and then some people will just have parts of what happened to them from
Yeah.
what your story is, right?
Yep. And that's my goal. But I want to thank you for you made this very comfortable. I haven't really done too many podcasts because I'm always let me do voice. I don't like to be seen. But you made this extremely comfortable for me. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's what I'm here for, because we want to hear your journey and we want to hear your story. And if people can get your book, so where can they get the books at?
On Amazon, Lateka Starnes Council.
Woo! So you
I
just
make
pull up your
everything
name.
easy. Just pull up my name and all four of my books will come up.
Okay. So if people want to buy a book, I encourage you to go buy so you can hear her story. And, along, with all the different books you have. Was it 5 books you have out?
Four on Amazon now. The
Four.
other three are coming next year.
Wow. So we're going to expect to see you back. So, all
Yes.
right. So, anyways, Lateka, it has been a pleasure having you on tonight. And I do want to thank also the viewers for watching tonight. Real Life Matters. I'm seeing with watching Lateka's journey and all her trials and tribulations. And this is a queen here. So, anyways, everybody, so good night. So, bye for now.
Bye. Good night.